So demultiplication, how it would done? See, basically demultiplication based on the frame type. So once you received an Ethernet driver, Ethernet, the packet is or whatever the bit is received. Bit is generally called as the packet where you are traveling in the physical layer. So that bits are coming to your Ethernet driver, and that tells about that whether it goes to ARP, IP, or ARP. So that above layer is what? Basically the data link layer, where it could be an ARP or it could be RARP. Otherwise, it forward to IP layer. When it is going to the IP layer, it can forward it as an ICMP packet. If it is the packet is belongs to a local network where it is looking about ping command, such command packet, and if it either it could be IGMP, where it is the Internet Gateway Management Protocol, where it should forward to other network. So it will be dead in your network there itself and forward to other network. If it is application, either it could be a TCP or it could be a UDP. So if it is a TCP is a kind of an application, so further it forwards, and UDP, user datagram protocol, non-reliable protocol, where TCP is a reliable protocol. So based on the protocol, it would be forward to the respective destination. So this is where demultiplication when you receive the packets. Now coming to that, how client server communicates. Whatever the application you take, example, opening in a web browser and typing a kind of a command or writing an URL, that always works based on this funda. So you are the user and you are opening in a browser and you are typing www.cdac.in or mighty.gov.in, where it trying to connect to the server, web server. But remember, so when you type basically name like www.cdac.in, www.microsoft.com, so these names cannot understand by these computers. Computers only can understand to transfer packets from one computer to another computer is only through IP address or MAC address. The IP address is basically using purpose for mainly when you are transferring packets between two networks, and MAC address is any peer-to-peer device communication within LAN. So these 2 points you remember, and these are the only 2 addresses which you can communicate, which the communication can happen in internet or TCP/IP protocols, either IP address or MAC address. So when you contact through web browser www.cdac.in, so it cannot understand how to transfer the packets because it only can understand IP address. So you required a kind of a server like an addressing system to understand and give that. See, if you wanted to send a letter from one place to another place, at least if you know PIN number like 110001 is the PIN number, at least it will go to a particular post office, and that postman knows whom you are sending the name or office. Like even though if you are sending Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, CGO complex 110001, that would definitely would be delivered, because that building is a famous building in CGS complex, where the postman received because of the only one IP address. So by taking that IP PIN number, he simply delivers to that particular ministry. Similarly, whenever you wanted to access a web server, you need to have somebody like in a post office, which you need to understand where that IP address. So this guy will query to the DNS, and I wanted to access www.cdac.in or mighty.gov.in, so that he will get an IP address. The IP address is a 4-octet IP address, which we'll discuss about in detail in the next sessions. So where he will get an IP address, then only he will send to web server. So once he received a web IP address, he will send an ARP request. ARP request is generally happens when you have an internal communication, and these servers are all your request to a web server is within your internal organization, that would be done through ARP request to understand ARP address also, where ARP address is 48-bit. When it is coming, IP address is 32-bit and divided into 8 bits, 4 octets into that. But however, ARP address is 6 octets, where it is represented in hexadecimal. So these two letters together is 1 byte. There are 6 bytes are there. So each byte is having 8 bits. You know very well about that. So 6 into 8, 48 bits. So the first, as I discussed it before, this first 3 octets, that means 3 into 8 bits, 24 bits belongs to a particular vendor who designed this NIC card. And this is the unique number, the next 24 about with respect to that particular company. So that in this internet world, you take any MAC address, that MAC address is unique across all devices. So that is where you can understand basically a computer and remote address and deliver the packets. So in case whatever I am querying that www.cdac.in within my organization, that server is within available my organization, why I need to take DNS outside to send the packets? I can send it directly to as a peer-to-peer device, which is a part of my network. So that, and remember, this ARP MAC address is second layer address, where IP address is third layer address. When I am doing a communication with MAC address, is faster than when I'm taking in my IP address at third layer, because the third, we discussed every communication, every layer adding its own header data. So that burden of adding a header data of third layer won't be there when you are communicating within the organization, so that it directly can access. So that it also finds the ARP reply, ARP request, and identifying the address. So now TCP three-way handshake happens. TCP three-way handshake is like what we will also discuss in detail, but however, for understanding at this time, so after getting this addressing, and when he is talking to the address with web server, first it will send synchronization packet, SYN packet. I want to connect your web server. That is what first handshake. Once so the web server received that kind of a request, it would be confirmed with an acknowledgement flag, so that it forwards, yes, I am available, you can access. Then that client is sending in a third handshake, thank you, I will connect your website, and then only the data will be forwarded. So whatever that application you take in this internet world, whether it is a web browser, whether in email communication, whether you do printer, network printer communication, even when you do chatting with WhatsApp and Telegram also, this three-way handshake is must. Without that, your data won't